What is up, YouTube? It's Raphael from xxRafael Productions, and I'm going to talk about a subject that I've been wanting to make a video on for a while now. So this video will be about Stranger Things Season 3, and to be precise, more about the character Billy Hargrove. So I thought it would be a good idea to make this video before Season 4 arrives. And I also made a Stranger Things Season 3 review a while back, around 2019, so if you want to go ahead and check that out, it will be in the description below. So on to today's topic. Before we continue, let's get one thing straight. My problems with the way Billy Hargrove's character was used in Season 3 has absolutely nothing to do with the actor Dacre Montgomery. He portrayed Billy extremely well, and every scene with Billy, let's say him having a mental breakdown, being possessed by the Mind Flayer, him fighting 11, which is one of the best action sequences I have seen in the show, was absolutely outstanding. The actor did a great job, so good on him for that. So good on Dacre for portraying Billy to the best of his ability. Really, the problems with this character this season, and then I'm going to talk about in the video, the problems here is not what we did get, but it's rather what we did not get. Okay, so I think the best way to summarize this is that Billy's character arc had the potential to be thoroughly explored throughout Season 3, but instead they threw a flashback, which, granted, I will give them points for this. It did show a piece of Billy's past that eventually does tie into the season finale, where it helps him break control from the Mind Flayer during the final battle in Season 3's last episode. So that at least that tied in to that, but as a whole, I'm referring to the entire season as a whole, and also to an extent the way Billy's character was portrayed in Season 2 as well. It really feels like they didn't explore much with Billy's character or utilize him to his full potential. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he didn't have to redeem himself 100% like Steve did. In fact, I would actually say that they did a good choice to not 100% make him a good guy, because this is honestly what makes Billy's character shine. He has that edge to him. But the thing is, we didn't really get to see any of his character development, or if we did, it was pretty much very minuscule compared to what they could have done. And here's a good example of that. So we clearly see, let's take you back to Season 2, where we clearly see Max, his stepsister, on bad terms with Billy back in Season 2. They were fighting, they were arguing, they seemed like they hated each other. And in Season 3, their interactions were very minimal. So when it did come to the end of Billy's storyline, aka his sacrifice to save 11 from the Mind Flayer, seeing Max grieve over his death as if they were very close at all, it definitely felt very jarring, and for a lack of a better word, it was just weird. Like, I'm serious. Okay, let's go in and put it this way, alright? I'm gonna put it this way for this. Compare their interactions from Season 2, and then compare that to Season 3. It just feels like they fast-forwarded to the very end, where suddenly Max cares a lot about Billy, with no clear build-up as to when or how that even happened. So you can kind of imagine my surprise, I guess you could say. Now, once again, I will not dog on the acting, because the acting in this, let's just say that this showcased plenty of great acting from Sadie Sink, who's the actress of Max. She clearly does her best with the script given to her. But again, the emotional moments didn't live up to its full potential because they didn't shine enough time on when Billy and Max potentially reconciled, or even Billy's character development as a whole, which I already mentioned earlier. I touched down on that subject earlier. Now let's go ahead and talk about the flashback, because this flashback felt so randomly thrown, and it just simply felt very cliche when it could have been done with much better. Alright, so just to refresh your memory, okay, let's go ahead and talk about this plot point. Neil Hargrove, who is the father of Billy, by the way, so from Season 2 we saw him. He was the abusive father who hit Billy as well in regards to him not taking care of Max. So let's go ahead and talk about why this needed to be capitalized a little bit more in this Season 3. So he needed more present-day screen time in Season 3 to make the viewers really feel for the adult Billy. Now, if this plot point hit for you, good for you, because for me, it did somewhat, but I feel like they could have done more with it, okay? So let me go ahead and explain my opinions on this. So this would capitalize as well this actually had the potential to capitalize on how Billy and Max grew closer in Season 3, unlike in Season 2. Like, perhaps we could have gotten a great scene where it shows Neil abusing Billy on present day and telling Max to protect herself or even run away. So that way it does show the viewers the bond between them, and it also goes to show that Billy Hargrove, despite his wild and unpredictable nature, still cares for Max deep down, and it makes the final scene a lot more convincing when it shows Max grieving hard for his stepbrother's death. Alright, so it would have shown the character development for both characters and also the bond that grew in between Season 2 and Season 3. This could have definitely been done. You can't tell me they couldn't have done this because all the actors they've hired have been clearly capable of doing such dramatic scenes, and all actors and actresses have proven capable of this. So this was no doubt a wasted opportunity that they could have done to make Billy's death more impactful. Now, along with the other stuff I've already mentioned, let's go also talk about Season 2. So I've already focused a lot on Season 3, but let's go talk about the Unresolved Storylines from Season 2 as well. So Billy's introductory season. And this is also in relation to the rest of the main characters. So for example, do you recall when Billy had a specific grudge against Lucas Sinclair? He's the one dating Max, I guess you could say. Basically, he already had a grudge against Lucas Sinclair, and he warned Max not to go near him or even date him. Yeah, do you remember that? Because I don't blame you if you forgot about this, because this is completely glossed over in Season 3. So, we don't even know the answer to this question. Did Billy get over it? Is he now more accepting of Max dating Lucas? Did he grow more accepting of him? A bunch of whatevers. I mean, I guess we could make the connection somehow, in that Max again grieved heavily over Billy's death, so that does show that he improved as a person, I guess, and it was also evident from the fact that Max was extremely concerned for his health throughout Season 3, which is again a drastic contrast to how she hated or had a grudge against him back in Season 2. But then again, it doesn't matter because, you guessed it, they glossed over that as well. So let's chalk it up to another wasted opportunity as well. So honestly, I think that expanding on how Billy grew as a person in between Seasons 2 and 3, especially that, because you need to show that, because it goes to show, instead of making it feel like you fast forwarded to the very end of the character arc. Like I said before, I have a similar problem, like I said before, with Professor Hulk from Endgame. If you recall, I made a video about it a couple months back. They pretty much have the same mistake in regards to Billy's character arc, where it feels like they fast forwarded to the end, and it kind of feels unjustified when you go to the final arc, where it has to be this dramatic, basically this dramatic redeeming moment for Billy's character. And it's just such a waste, because the actors and actresses, they were perfect. The scene was masterfully done. They acted their hearts out, but it just felt unearned, and the build-up to it didn't feel convincing enough. Of course, now with Billy Hargrove being dead, all that potential is gone, but of course they can always revive him if they want to, by making up a random excuse as to how he survived, but I'm not sure how they would do that. It's up to the writer's imagination. But honestly, for the show's stakes, and also for the sake of the show in the long run, I think Billy Hargrove should be left dead, because that ship has sailed. They missed a lot of opportunities, but they already wrapped it up by him being dead. So let's go ahead and bury that hatchet, or else that death scene would pretty much feel cheaper than it already does. So while I'm not suggesting to bring Billy Hargrove back from the dead, I'm just saying they could have explained why they could have utilized him much more, and also would have added to Season 3's strengths. Because believe me, they really stepped up the acting in this season, so all that could have been much, much more impactful. Because, I mean, let's go ahead and talk about Dacre Montgomery's acting in particular. He was impactful, like, in a lot of scenes, like him breaking control temporarily before the Mind Flayer regains control, all the abusive scenes from his father, all that was just a spectacle, okay? So let's go ahead and wrap up this video. So that wraps up Billy Hargrove and also Stranger Things Season 3. So hopefully with Season 4 coming up soon, I guess, hopefully that they make this have much better writing. And if you have any theories as to the plot of Season 4, feel free to discuss it in the comments, and I will go ahead and also engage in any discussion. So Thank you very much for watching my video. Raphael out, and I will see you soon.